Hello everyone and welcome back to Hip Restore. In this last session, we will be focusing on gentle myofascial release to help ease tension in the hips and the surrounding muscles. The practice will be slow and grounding, allowing time for the body to soften and release without force. So move gently, adjust the pressure when needed, and let the breath guide you. Also in this session, we will need a myofascial therapy ball. If you do not have one, you can use a tennis ball or any children's soft toy ball. Let's get started. Facing the ball to one side, can we come into child pose? Your knees slightly about distance apart or together. And start to bring the hips down towards the heels. Extend your arms out forward and bring the forehead down towards the mat. And let us start to connect with the breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more last one, deep inhale and exhale. I'll slowly lift the head up, lift the hips up. We're going to come into our first pose, the spin pose, just to warm up just a little bit. So bring the hips down, bring the belly down and come down onto your forearms. Your forearms will be about shoulder distance apart. Fingertips spread wide apart. Pressing your hands down to the mat, can you pull your elbows back towards the back of the mat? When you start to pull your elbows back, you will start to push your chest forward. You may feel a slight constriction in the back of the body. Okay, as long as you're not experiencing any pain that is of sharp in nature, you're doing perfectly fine. Just give yourself some time to release the tension behind the back. And keep activating the elbows towards the back as you push your chest forward. Stay here, breathe. Just 3 more breaths here. Keep pulling the elbows back, keep pushing the chest forward. In the next inhale, we're going to come back into child pose. So we're going to lift the body up. Bring the knees in, either knees together or knees apart, and forehead down to the mat. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale through your nose. Now let's slowly bring the hip back up. This time we're going to come into extended cobra. Now maybe some of you would like to have the arms wider if you have a very stiff back. For those who have a bit more mobility in their back, you can bring your arms closer. Okay? So from here, lift the hips up. Yes, bring your knees back and slowly sink the hips down. So you may not sink the hips down all the way. It may be like me, halfway. That's perfectly fine. For those who can go all the way down, go ahead all the way down into your extended cobra. For those who are up here, just stay up here. Just breathe. Take 1 inhale. Exhale. Can we come back into child pose again? We're going to do 2 more rounds like this. Inhale. Taking your time. Lift the hips up. Sink the hips down. Too much to your ability. Think about stretching that bottom belly as well to help you find more mobility in the stretch. Last one. Coming back down into your child pose. And slowly come back up for the last one. We're going to stay here for a little bit. Any variation, maybe your hips are slightly higher up, maybe your hips are lower down, maybe your hips are touching down towards the mat. Push your hands into the mat and start to find that lift. Stretch the front of the body. Good, stay here, breathe. If it gets too much for you, please feel free to come in the child pose and wait for us. We have 4 more breaths. Remember, you can always bring the arms wider to have a bit more space in the lower back. Or if you want more stretch in this, you bring your hands closer. One more inhale here. As you exhale, your last child pose. Now we're going to slowly make our way into downward facing dog. So lift the hips up. Make sure your fingers are spread wide apart. Tuck the toes. Sink your hips back. Press your hands to the mat. Lift the knees off and come into your first downward dog. If you like to, you can pat out the feet. Bending the other, straightening the opposite leg. Maybe twist right and left. Anything that makes you feel good. Anything that helps you to warm up the body a little bit more before we start into the full Myofascial Release series. And slowly bring both knees down. We're going to start in sphinx pose like how we did earlier in the warm-up. Bring the belly down. Forearms down to the mat, okay? So the first option will be the sphinx pose. Just pull your elbows back, push your chest forward. This is enough for your back muscles. Just stay here and breathe. Okay, for those who want to take it a little stronger in this stretch, you can lift your hands up this way. Maybe hands go out wider so you don't feel a lot of pressure in that back. And option 3, for those who can go even higher, those who can reach for that stretch in the front of the belly with little compression in the back, you can follow me in this variation of seal pose or extended cobra pose. And you just stay here, couple of breaths, just breathe. Again, let the breath guide you. If it gets too much in that back of the muscles, just walk your hands slightly forward and go lower down all the way to spins, okay? So you can slowly go up higher, or whenever it gets too much, just slowly adjust to come down lower. This pose is so useful to release the tension in the lower back. But sometimes taking it to the extreme, in my case in this option 3, may not be for everyone. So you can always start from sphinx pose and slowly make your way up. Those who are taking option 3 with me, can you consciously push your hips down towards the floor? Keep breathing. We have last 3 more breaths. Two. And 1. Now wherever you are, if you are in sphinx pose, please stay there. Those who are joining me in the extended cobra or seal pose, coming back down to your sphinx pose. Now grab the ball. We're going to start with the release in the quad. So the quad is thigh muscles here. You can place it any part of the thigh. Just make sure that you roll down. Your thigh muscles is pressing down onto the ball. So there's a few options you can take. You can cross fiber by bringing the leg out and in. You can also tuck the opposite toe, which is the left toes, and start rolling up and down. Or if you find a spot that is super sore that you like to work on, you can bend the knee and straighten the knee. Okay, choose any option which works for you. I'm choosing bending and straightening the knee. We call this pin and stretch. I find this for me the most effective in getting down into the deep tissues, especially when I start to find that trigger point that is really naggy and sore. Or you can stay static like me, not moving at all. This will get even deeper, and this will help to release a particular tense trigger point, a particular tense spot, if you stay static and not move. Again, focus on your breath. Once you start to notice the sensation is getting lesser in one trigger point, please move the ball. You can either just use your hands to manually move it, or you can just roll your body up and down to move the ball. We have 5 more breaths here. Breathe. Now can we slowly release the ball? Just pass it to the other hand, the left hand. Don't place it under the left thigh yet. Keep this right knee bent. Now we're going to pull the right heel to the butt. Hold it there, feel that stretch. You can even rest the forehead down onto the mat if this is more comfortable for you. For those who are not feeling very much in the stretch, please bring the heel outside of the butt. Stay here, breathe. We have last 3 breaths. Now take your time, slowly release the right leg. Now let's move the ball to the left thigh, under the left thigh. So I find cross fibering, which means swing the leg left and right this way. It's very good to find the trigger point that you would like to work on. So I usually use this cross fibering to look for the trigger points that I would like to work on. And once I find one, I will choose to stay and hold it there, or I will do pin and stretch like this. Sometimes I bend the knee to put more pressure of the muscle into the ball. Whenever you notice the first sensation that you felt at the start of using the ball is slightly getting lesser, it's an indication of your body to move the ball to another trigger point. So you do not have to stay in the same trigger point, working on the same trigger point throughout the whole time. Do shift the ball so you can work on other areas as well. We have 5 more breaths here. Stay with me. Now slowly release the ball. You can hold it with the right hand. And let's do that quad stretch. Let's pull that left heel to the butt. For some of you, maybe you can pull it outside the butt. Maybe you can rest the forehead down onto the forearms. Stay here and breathe. Just feeling the stretch from the thigh. You can also take the option of continue rolling the ball if you're not feeling a lot in this stretch. Stay another 2 more breaths. Now slowly release the left leg. We're going to continue to work on the left leg. Let's do the IT bend. So let's lie on the side. Okay, the IT bend is just this whole tissue is at the side. Place the ball this way. Place the right foot across the left foot. You can come onto your forearms, right hand down onto the mat. You can lift the hips and roll this way. This is very painful, okay? So this is probably the most extreme variation. Now, if you're feeling too tired to rest on your forearm, you can lie down this way. Bring the right foot back and roll it this way. Okay, remember the idea is to lie the side of the leg onto the ball. See, like this is already a lot for me. And you can bend and straighten like this, like pin and stretch. Okay, just breathe here, stay here. And remember, you can always move the ball along the side of that leg muscle. You can do cross fibering too this way. Pin and stretch. Again, you can also hold static there. Stay with me, we only have another 5 more breaths to go. And let's slowly make our way up. Grab the ball, we'll still work on the left leg. Continue working on the left leg. Let's place it under the hamstring muscles. Okay, the hamstring muscles are just right at the back of that big thigh. You can place it close towards your butt. This is where most people feel. And place your hands behind. Your fingertips facing out. Right foot down onto the mat for support and start to maybe roll. Maybe roll side to side, have your hips down side to side, cross fiber. You start to find a spot that is super sore, like I can feel a spot that is super sore. I will stay here. Maybe I place a bit of weight to press that leg into the ball. Any option, go ahead and do. And again, just breathe through the whole period where you have the ball under the muscle. Remember to shift the ball. We have 5 more breaths here. Then slowly release. Let's come to the calf muscles. Bring the ball down to the back of the calf muscles. Place the ball under the fetus belly. Place the other leg on top as a lever and as a weight. Oh my god, it's pain. And then stay here. You can roll, okay? You can also bring the heels down. This is almost like a variation of pin and stretch. I found a spot, so I'm gonna stay here with this weight of my right leg on top of the left leg. So I did not measure earlier, but it's the same for the hamstrings. It's the same for the calves. If you want a little bit more, sometimes leaning forward, leaning your weight over towards the leg, you can feel so much more. Okay. If it gets too much, just lean to the back. Remember, you can always shift the ball to the next trigger point. You don't have to stay at one spot for too long. We have 5 more breaths here. Now slowly release the ball, place it to one side. We're going to come for a stretch. We're going to come into a half shoelace. So extend your left leg out. Make sure your hips are facing towards the front. Can you sweep this right leg across? So if you can, right knee on top of the left knee. Otherwise, this is also perfectly fine, slightly away. First option is this. Second option, knee on top of the right knee on top of the left knee and pull that right foot in. Then from here, take a breath. Inhale, raise both arms up. Exhale, can you fold forward? So maybe you're just grabbing the shin, or you can place your palms down onto the mat, or go even lower, bringing the belly towards the thigh. Some of you might find the stretch at the right hip. Some of you might find the stretch at the back of the left leg. Whatever it is, as long as you're getting the stretch is good. Make sure there's no knee pain. If there's knee pain, please just adjust the body to go up higher, okay? And or you don't bend this knee too much. Stay here, breathe. Okay, then slowly come back all the way up. Can you release the top legs? Maybe shake out the legs. Now let's do the other side. Right side now. IT bend first. Okay, again, you're going to lie on the side of the body so that the side of the leg can rest on the ball. Oh my, this side is very painful. I'm going to lie down onto the mat. So any option you can take. You can bring the left foot forward like what I'm doing for support, because my right IT band is very tight. And lie your head down onto the arm, or again you can always do the forearms. Come onto the forearms. This is a little bit more pressure because you're higher up. Yep. I'm gonna lie down onto my arm. Oh my god, so pain. Okay, and you can just roll. Remember, you can roll, or you can roll up and down, left and right, or even bend the knee and straighten. I'm in so much pain at this point in time that I'm not moving. I'm just letting the ball release the tension in the right IT band. Again, just let the breath guide you. Remember, you can always shift the ball to another spot. Oh my god, this is so pain. Okay. We have last 5 more breaths here. And slowly come off from the ball. Can you grab the ball? Now we're gonna work hamstrings, okay? Under the right leg. So the hamstrings end just right at the back of the knee. You can place it at the belly, right in the middle, okay, or right at the hip joint. Same thing, you can roll this way, you can roll this way. And once you start to find a spot, you can press, stay static, not move. Placing the other leg on top as a weight to press the muscle into the ball, okay? Remember, again, you can always lean forward to put more pressure of the muscle onto the ball. I like static holds when it comes to ball therapy, but it may not be for everybody because it can be quite painful. But it's also because I'm very used to using ball therapy to release tension in the muscles. So if this is your first time, you may want to do the rolling up and down, left and right, just to get the tissues used to this sensation before going straight into static, like I do. Yeah. And of course, just keep doing this video, and you notice that the more times you do it, you notice actually the less painful it gets. Last 5 breaths here. You also notice I'm shifting the ball to find new trigger points, not sticking to just one point. Now can you place the ball under the calf muscles now? Okay, you can lean slightly back again, rolling it this way, rolling up and down, or just place a weight. Oh, I like this one. Oh, it's pain. Oh, foul spot. Last 5 breaths here. Oh my god, so pain. Alright, slowly we move the ball to one side. We're coming for that stretch, half shoelace. So again, your left knee can be away from the right knee. That's first option. Second option, see if you can bring the left knee on top of the right knee. He's facing forward. And together, everyone, inhale, release both arms up. Exhale, reach the palms down to the mat or onto the shin or your calf muscles or wherever you can grab. Okay, you're looking for the stretch at the back of the right leg. Maybe some of you can also feel in the left hip. Take your time here, breathe. We have last 5 breaths here. And slowly make your way back up. Release the top leg and shake it out. We're gonna come down to the glutes where the butt area is. So you're gonna lie down on your back. Place both feet onto the mat. And start to lean towards the left to place the ball any part that's under your right butt. I usually like to go around middle of the butt and slightly more to the outer part of the butt when I do this variation. Okay, and from here you can place the hands onto the belly or onto the sides. I want you to open the knee out wide like in butterfly pose, half butterfly. Open and close. And this is how you find the trigger point. If this is good enough for you, just keep doing this. If like me, you find a spot that is particularly sore when you open that knee out wide, I want you to lift the left hip up and bring that knee down. So you're putting pressure, okay, onto that ball with the muscle pressing onto it. So left hip is up, right knee is down, and just stay here and breathe. Again, remember, always switch. Move the ball, switch to another trigger point, find another trigger point. The glute, the butt muscles have many trigger points. So you do not need to always stick to just one trigger point. So move around, search for the best one, search for the one you want to work on. Last 5 breaths here. Now let's change to the other side. Let's move the ball towards the left side. Same thing first, just open the knee and bring the knee back up. Open it out. So sometimes just doing this movement alone, slowly and gently, is more than enough. You do not have to stay still or static. Always start slow, and like I mentioned before at the start of the video, adjust the pressure as needed. Especially if you're a first timer to this, try to go a little gentler and slower. Let your body start to be aware that this is a new method that you will introduce to the system to start to help you heal. Okay, and for those staying static like me right now, remember your right hip is lifted off the mat. Remember to shift the ball. The glute muscles is very big. So many trigger points there. You don't have to stay at one spot for the whole time allowed. We have last 5 breaths here. Now slowly release the ball from under the left glute. Now we're going to do one last spot, the SI joint. So you're still lying down. Now if I want you to find the top of your butt muscle, so where the fleshy part is. Okay, and I want you to bring the ball to that top part and then start to bring the ball slightly closer to where the sacrum is. So the sacrum is just next to the fleshy part of the butt, but right in the middle. So it splits the right and left. And when you place the ball there, you can go up slightly higher too, like literally on the bone. Okay, that's where the attachment is anyways. Alright, and you can stay here if this is enough. Roll right and left. If you want more, you bring your knee to the chest and you hold here. The last release for you. Remember, not all pain is good pain. In myofascial therapy especially, if you start to feel that sensation of numbness, please release the ball and move to another trigger point. If you start to notice the sharp pain that's coming out from pressing with the ball, please also shift the ball. Learn to take this time to understand your body and be aware about what your body is doing. We have last 5 more breaths here. And slowly remove the ball. Let's do the other side. Again, now you know where your sacrum is. So you can place the ball just next to the sacrum or just above it where the bone is. Just be gentle, okay? Sometimes this can be quite painful. And just roll your hips left and right, up and down. You can feel so good just doing this. If you want a little bit more, then you can join me. Bring the knee to chest. Hold it there. We have last 5 breaths here. And slowly release the ball to one side. And come into a resting pose. You can be in Shavasana, lying on your backs with the arms by the side of the body, or you can also just turn to any one side and lying down on your arm as if you're sleeping. I would like you to take this time as you have your eyes closed to start to connect with the breath and start to consciously relax the body from the top of the head to the space in between your eyebrows, to your shoulders, relaxing your arms, your fingers, your torso, your hips, your thighs, knees, calves, and feet. Completely relaxed. Now slowly start to bring the awareness to your fingers and your toes and start to wiggle them. And slowly can you bend the knees one at a time and maybe bring the knees to the right. Slowly sway them to the left. Few more rounds, right and left, right and left. Let's end both knees towards the right and prop ourselves up into a seated position. Let's come into any comfortable seated position. And let us take a moment here to just observe how our lower body feels. Does it feel more spacious? Maybe more relaxed and more at ease? You can always return back to this video when you feel that you have tight hips or you need to release some tension in the hip area. Please feel free to revisit all the other hip restore videos whenever you need some support for your hips through movement, strength, and care. Thank you so much if you have been practicing with me the Hip Restore series this whole month. Thank you, and I hope to see you the next time in the next video. Goodbye.